You know, there was another heavyweight fight on this same card. It was the co-main event featuring Zhilei Zhang taking on Joseph Parker. Talk about guys remaking their career. Well, Big Bang Zhang dropped Parker twice. A straight left dropped Parker in the third, and then a short right to the temple dropped him in the eighth. But then the heavy-handed Zhang slowed down as the fight progressed, while Parker's speed and sharpness showed. Zhang didn't land a single shot in the 12th round, and that may have ended up costing him on the scorecards, with Parker taking the majority decision win. Despite the two knockdowns, Parker nearly doubled Zhang's 40 power punches landed, and he increased his punch output over the second half of the fight from 22 punches per round to 30 per round, while Zhang decreased from 26 to 19 and a half punches thrown per round. So, Tim, this result really proved that A plus B does not equal C, because this is the same Parker who lost against Joe Joyce, and then he was stopped by Joe Joyce. Then Joe Joyce was stopped twice by Zhilei Zhang, and now he gets outboxed by Parker. So despite the 40-year-old having fight-changing power, he really didn't look in great shape. So, Tim, what did you make of not only the performance from Joyce, but also the decision?
Well, I could just tell you this. At the beginning of the fight, when it first started, first couple of rounds, it seemed to me that Joyce was just getting established. However, it didn't seem to me like he believed that he can win. He got knocked on his butt. He gets up. He fights back. However, you didn't see Zhang jump on him. Zhang took his time. I guess he was afraid that Joyce might survive his assault, and he didn't want to get tired. He ended up getting tired anyway on the back end of the fight. He even dropped him again. And after he dropped him the second time, that's when my man Parker believed that he can win the fight. You know, his speed, his quickness, his ring IQ started to come to the forefront. You know, Zhang was started getting tired. You know, he doesn't have any gears. He fights at one pace and one gear the entire fight. You know, and when he needed to push towards the end, he had nothing to give. You got to understand, this is a 40-year-old man. Yes, he's performed very well. He performed very well against a guy that was straight directly in front of him. That's not Parker. Parker's too slick, you know, too agile, understands the game of boxing, and more importantly, he's a clean fighter now. You know, one of my biggest issues with Parker was that I would see him out and about, and he would be full and drunk off the alcohol. He's actually left the alcohol alone, people. That's the difference. He left that weakness alone. Now he's strong. He's been active fighting too. And so that's built his confidence up, his skill set, his sharpness, and now he's getting fights like this and situations like this where it looks like all odds are against him, but then he pulls through because he has that extra gear and he has that extra confidence and belief in himself now, and he's not hindered down by that alcohol anymore. I applaud Parker. What a hell of a run he's had in the last, I would say, year and a half. I want to see more of Parker. I think he might be up there with the top 3, top 2, you know, in the heavyweight division. I would love to see him fight against Usyk. I would love to see him fight against Tyson Fury. I mean, dude, he's earned the right to.
I mean, again, we do this in sports and in boxing also. We get carried away and overreact to wins. We overreact to losses. Timmy's getting carried away to extreme amounts right now. No, Joseph Parker's not competing with Usyk. He's not competing with Anthony Joshua. We already saw Joshua beat up Parker years ago. Here's what I think happens a lot in boxing. You get carried away, all right? Zhilei Zhang knocked out Joe Joyce, what was Joe Joyce's best attribute? A granite chin. But guess what? When you take nonstop punches over and over and over again, you get older, suddenly that chin will be dented. So we write fighters off, and Joe Parker now, this is a guy that lost to Dillian White. You know, he wasn't really competitive with Joshua. I thought he had a gift over Andy Ruiz. Very good win over Zhang. The activity helps. Full credit to him for giving up the alcohol. That's a huge benefit. The top fighters never drink, generally speaking. But again, I think we're getting carried away and overreacting to a win over Zhilei Zhang. Let's see Joseph Parker do this again and again against different fighters.
Are you kidding me? Come on, cop. Now, aren't you the guy that said that activity matters? Wasn't you talking to Oscar Valdez and saying, what about activity? That's what these guys are giving you, activity. And when you get the activity in the boxing ring, guess what? You become sharper and sharper. Zhang was a top guy. He's a top heavyweight in the division. Yes, he is. He's fought some credible guys, and now you got Parker, who got set down on his behind, comes back and wins this fight and pulls it out. So moving forward, that shows you a lot about this man's character, shows you a lot about his mettle and what he brings. And he's faced everybody in this division, and this is the best that I've seen him. So give the man some credit, man. Give him some credit. You know, he's performing at a higher level than we've ever seen him before.
He gets a lot of credit, but I just think you're getting carried away. Again, Zhilei Zhang also is a guy that went life and death with Jerry Forrest just a few fights ago. So let's look at that as well. You're saying Joseph Parker is going to compete with Usyk? I don't see it.
But you knew what was wrong with him then. You knew exactly what was wrong. He was sick when he fought against that man. You know, so you know he had an illness. You know, when he fought against that man. So, but you saw him against Joe Joyce, and what he did to Joyce, it was spectacular. Weren't you saying like, wow, this is the guy, I want to see this guy against Tyson Fury. I want to see this guy against the best heavyweights out there. You were saying that, you know. So you get a guy like Parker, don't look like much, but guess what? He beats this man. Of course, they got a rematch. However, man, just give the man some credit. And you know, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight against Usyk. I didn't say he will beat Usyk. I'm just saying he's deserving of a title shot, man, against Usyk or any of these top heavyweights out there.